You coast through the holidays and you pay for it the entire first quarter, really the whole year. See, when you downregulate to neutral, assuming that no one's buying or no one's listening and that there's nothing you can do now to change the numbers for the year, you're wrong. I've built an entire Q1 revenue in just 6 weeks from the Wednesday before Thanksgiving to January 2nd. See, while others hibernate, I hunt. While others coast, I close. The cost of checking out now, it's not just losing deals. It's losing momentum. It's losing your positioning. It's surrendering territory to your competition. It's your pipeline for the entire next year. So let me show you how you can dominate the holiday season that so many others just ignore. See, the fact of the matter is this. December is when I do an entire quarter's worth of sales volume. I'm not talking about one lucky December. I've done this over and over again because I stay focused while others tap themselves out. While most salespeople start winding down, I'm gearing up. And that's exactly why I win the first quarter of the year, even before it begins. See, the holiday season brings everybody to the marketplace. Everybody. People that you've tried to connect with, they're now easy targets. They're there. They're open. And you know what? They're scrolling and they're buying. They're not avoiding calls anymore. They're looking for ideas. They're finally free of all the noise and back in decision mode. See, if you've ever wanted a shot at the people who've ghosted you all year, this is it. But you've got to be visible. Now, remember, this is a cyclical season of change. It's a time when people are looking to begin new habits and end old habits. They're leaving bad vendors. They're setting new priorities. They're budgeting new money. They're casting new vision. They're in the mindset of change. They're in the mindset of what's next for them and their company. You've got to put yourself into the picture of what's next. Otherwise, you'll be forgotten about before the big ball drops on New York. See, remember, this is not the time to hibernate. If you're hibernating, if you're coasting during the holiday season, you have really put yourself at a major disadvantage for the rest of the year. See, most people coast into January with a very cold pipeline. They're thinking, at the first of the year, that's when I'm really going to come out strong. See, I go into January with the fully booked revenue, full calendars, and momentum. And momentum is a salesperson's best friend. If you're waiting for next year to start, if you're waiting for next year that's when you're going to start closing people, you are already too late. See, opportunity doesn't check the calendar, and neither should you. Sales really isn't about timing as much as it is positioning. And when you're positioned right, you're in demand all year round, but especially at the busiest buying season of the year. See, our goal as a company is to book next year's revenue in the last 90 days of this current year. We will fill my coaching and my mentoring calendar for the next year in that 90-day period. October, November, and December. Those are our closing months. We don't just plan next year. We sell it. We close it. See, the calendar isn't something that we work around. It's the lever that we pull to dominate the first quarter of the year, even before it starts. Now, when you're selling in the month of December, it's important to remember that the person who's buying your product isn't the one who's likely to be using it. Usually, if they're buying a product for somebody else, they don't necessarily care about how it solves their problem. They want to give something of value to somebody else. The end user of the product or service is going to be the recipient of the gift. And so what does the buyer really want? The buyer isn't looking for the features and benefits. They're looking for confidence, certainty. They want to know that their gift is going to land well, that it's going to be remembered. If you keep selling to the user, you're missing the one who's actually making the decision. What the buyer really wants is to feel significant. They want to feel validated. They want to feel appreciated when they give this gift. They want to feel that they've given something of value to their loved one. You're not just selling a coaching package. You're giving them a chance to be remembered, to make an impact in another person's life. And your pitch needs to match that value. If they don't feel like your offer makes them look good when they give the gift, they'll choose something else that does make them look good. All sales are emotional, but holiday sales are even more emotionally charged. That's why you use the language like, when you give this gift, you're giving the gift of quality, of excellence, and of memory, Mary. When you give this gift, you're giving the gift of quality, of excellence, and of a memory that they're going to remember this gift and you giving it to them all year round. See, that's what closes the deal in December. Not logic, not specs, legacy. See, your language must speak to the buyer's emotional state when they're giving the gift. The problem you're solving is they're wondering, will this gift be appreciated by the recipient? So you want to reframe your message to say, this is something they'll remember you for. It's the gift that carries your name and your intention. They're not looking to impress with utility. They're looking to connect through meaning. And even more so, remember, simplicity is value. Holiday buyers want a one and done. They want to be able to click it, buy it, and forget about it with the certainty that what they've bought is going to be delivered on time as expected. The easier you make it for them to say yes, with fast delivery, no friction, and emotional clarity and certainty, the more they trust that it's going to land with their gift recipient. You're selling the special meaning of a product or a service to the buyer in this season when memories are made and people are remembered for the significance of the gifts that they give. Your job is to remove doubt, not to push harder. Confidence is really going to be your closing tool. Now look, before I go any further, I want you to grab the free Martinelli Sales mini course. And I want you to focus on the section on building trust and rapport quickly. Because listen, they don't need pressure. They need your authentic presence to guide them to the buying decision. And this free course will show you how to lead with certainty in those first 4 seconds, how to shift from trying to sell to transferring trust, and how to become the voice your buyer trusts in a really crowded season. So click on the link right there in the description, grab the mini course, and then come right back because we're just getting warmed up. Now, if you're thinking that you have to lower your price in December, that you have to have some lower holiday sales price, I say, instead of lowering your price, how about raising the value? See, if you believe that the only way that you can affect sales during the holiday season is that you've got to compete on price, I would ask you to challenge that belief. See, you don't need to cave or get desperate. The season already gives you built-in leverage. See, urgency, emotional timing, and gift-giving deadlines are doing all the heavy lifting for you. If you discount now, you're not just losing margin, you're training your buyers to expect a lower standard and a lower price. All throughout the year, they're going to wait for the holiday season because that's when they can really get your price much lower. See, this is the only time of year when urgency doesn't need to be manufactured. It's already on the calendar. Use it. There's a specific built-in deadline. The urgency is already there for you. Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, they all carry hard dates. No one's asking, can I buy this in February? So don't invent fake scarcity. Use the calendar to drive the close. The real sales trigger in December is about how easy is it for me to buy this? How fast can you deliver it? How simple can you make it for me? Can I set it and forget it? Can I buy it and not have to worry about it? How easy are you to do business with? How soon can you close the deal and begin to deliver. See, in our business, we promise that within 2 hours of a purchase, every part of the program gets unlocked and is ready for that gift giver to receive. The user gets instant access, their welcome email, their login with no delay. See, ease isn't just a feature. It's a decision maker here. Instead of discounting, why don't you offer a bonus that introduces them to some of your highest value, most expensive work? I'll give you an example. We'll offer a 15-minute mentoring session, one-on-one time with me, with every digital program. You know what happens? 40% of those people end up buying a full mentoring package from us. A 15-minute taste of kind of our best work costs us very little, but it creates a bridge to something that they would have never considered before. You're not giving money away. You're giving them a reason to invest more deeply. So protect your margin by making them earn the extra value through the full price contract. Back in my cleaning days, I would tell a customer asking for a discount for something like this, I'd say, look, if you give me the cleaning contract for the $15,000 that I've proposed, what I'll do is I'll discount the marble lobby and all the polishing by 20%. See, I'm not lowering my price. I'm using conditional value. The customer will do more to avoid losing that 20% add-on than to gain the discount on the original core offer. This is how loss aversion works. You preserve your pricing integrity and you close more profitable deals, introducing them to segments of your offerings that they may never have purchased before. So stop thinking that the buyer needs or is demanding a lower price. What they really want is they want confidence. They want speed. They want to feel smart about the decision. So give them that. Give them that. Make it easy to do business with. Give them certainty, and you'll never need to discount again. See, here's the next thing to remember. To grow sales in December and to fill up your pipeline for January, you don't need to do more. You actually need to stop doing what doesn't work. The most effective thing I can do is stop doing the things that are not effective. The most effective thing to do is to stop doing ineffective things. Especially in a busy season, activity isn't the answer. Effectiveness is. You don't need a new system. You need to quit with whatever's causing chaos in your business now. If you're spending your best hours on things that don't build the business, where you're not asking somebody to buy, you're just getting better at getting stuck. Don't fill 70% of your day with things that feel urgent, don't drive revenue, especially in this season. Stay out of the trap of being very busy, but ineffective. You have meetings, follow-up loops, inbox drama. It all creates this illusion of progress and busyness without any actual forward movement towards your goals. The thing is, you're not overwhelmed. You're overcommitted to the worst things, to the things that aren't productive. I don't unsubscribe from emails. It almost never works. I just block it. It's faster. I habitually clean my inbox and I reclaim my time and my mind space. You may think that 30 seconds here or a quick scroll here doesn't matter, but it does. It adds up. Maybe it's 12 minutes a day. That 12 minutes you could be using to leave 3 really powerful voicemails or to schedule 2 discovery calls. Your creative edge starts with what you allow in and what you keep out. Focus isn't about discipline. It's about subtraction. It's about removing the things that block you from being productive. When you can identify what I call competing commitments, things that we're doing that we think we need to do, but are actually interfering with us being effective as we need to be. We're not lacking drive. We're distracted by obligations that don't belong to us anymore. The holidays don't create chaos. They reveal what you're committed to. Use the pressure of the season to get clear on what matters most. Don't react. Be the architect. Be the visioner of your business. If you'll treat your calendar like your cash flow, you'll start spending time where it really pays. You don't need more time. You need to take back the time that you're wasting or that other people are stealing. There are time vampires. And that starts with knowing what's stealing it. Who are those time vampires? What are those activities that keep you non-productive but feeling busy? And start cutting those out today. Now let's talk about the sales conversation itself and how to have smart conversations in the holiday season. Nothing builds trust like authority. And that happens in those first 4 seconds when you meet someone. About how you speak, how you present yourself, the way you convey your tonality, your energy, your posture. You don't earn trust by trying to be liked. You earn it by standing in absolute certainty of authority. You want to build trust? Value my time. Be on time. Accommodate my time. Don't waste my time. See, that means showing up early. That means being prepared. That means never asking questions that you could have Googled or asked ChatGPT about to get the answer. If you don't respect their schedule, don't expect them to respect your offer. Smart questions reveal your authority more than any pitch ever could. So anyone can wing a sales conversation, but when you come in with insight, when you show them that you've studied their business, they feel seen and validated. Respect is the seed of trust. Let me say that again. Respect, especially of someone's time, is the seed of trust. And respect is earned by how seriously you take their world. If you don't show up like the expert, as the authority, you won't be seen as one. See, you demonstrate your expertise, you demonstrate your authority, and you position yourself as someone who can solve their problem. We trust doctors because of perceived authority. Your posture, your preparation creates that same type of authority. So you want to be calm in voice, in the noise, and the expert in chaos. You lead with insight, not small talk. Don't go off to Pluto. Keep the main thing the main thing. If they see you as a vendor, you're already losing the deal. You want to show up as a collaborative partner, as an expert, as an authority. Show up like a professional. Stop trying to close the deal in one interaction. Close the next step in the sales process. What's the next commitment objective? And use your authoritative presence to give them unconscious permission to make that next micro agreement to commitment. See, there is always a buyer's journey. And if you're forcing step 6 when you're still on step 2, you end up ambushing the close. You'll blow the deal. You don't build trust by rushing the process. You build it by guiding the process, leading the conversation. So you want to know, what's the next commitment objective? For every single call, there has to be a commitment objective. It's part of the sales process, part of the buyer's journey. The close comes after all the right next steps have been taken. Rush it, and they'll feel pressured, and they retreat. Remember this, force negates. Remember, trust doesn't start with what you say. It starts with who you are when you walk into the room. The first thing you have to sell is your authority. And when you do that, when they buy your authority, the rest will follow. Now look, before you go, make sure you download the Martinelli Sales Method mini course. This is where trust building moves from theory to making it muscle memory. You got to do the reps. You got to learn the strategy. You got to implement it in your next call. It doesn't take much, but it does take something. In this course, I'm teaching the strategy for the 5 most common sales challenges that every single sales professional faces. So get the free training now and then watch this next video. It's titled, Give Me 16 Minutes and Your Holiday Sales Will Be the Best Yet. And we're going to build on the strategy on what you already learned from this training. I'll see you there.